Thank you, Madam Speaker. To the bill. I'll try to be brief.
To the bill.
When I first arrived here, Representative Berger, who had held the seat before me, said that the legislature is like jumping into a river. It's been going on before you, and it will go on after you. I say that because for many, talking about different tax approaches, whether a VAT or a CAT or a sales or any of the others, for the last 30 years, I have been amazed at the different ways in which great new concepts come up and then at the last minute just somehow disappear. Since 1997, when Republican Speaker Lynn Lundquist led the effort to put together the quality education model, we have never fully funded the quality education model. In fact, looking at the recent numbers from the 2018 report, just recently it shows that we're still 22% under the funding for the quality education model. Here's what I'm trying to say today. This is not a perfect plan. No piece of legislation ever is. And I must tell you, I'm a little bit confused about the comments made about big business and this, that, and the other thing, when in fact, we have a hard enough time having big business actually pay their corporate tax rates. They get very creative these days with finding ways out of that. The fact is this: there will be some consequences from this bill, no doubt. There always is. I think it's a good plan. I think that we will tweak things as we need to. I think that we will come together and try to make it better. But what I know is the bigger consequence of not acting. A friend of mine once said, and she came from World War II era, she said, you know, the one thing that they, meaning government and power and all those things, the one thing they can't take from you is an education. I can tell you, for the last 20 years teaching in college classrooms, we're already taking it from them. We're not living up to our responsibilities. This is personal to me, not because I have children in the system I never will have, but because at the end of the day, the Oregon I remember, the Oregon I grew up in, the Oregon that is the promise, the Oregon story, has yet to realize its potential because we continue to screw up the end game. We continue to find reasons not to get the job done. Now, I don't know if this is going to have to be tweaked in the next year or the next 2 or 3 years. And I believe we will find a way to work through that. But we have to make sure that we recognize what really is at stake today. And it's the kind of Oregon we're going to have not next year, but 20 years from now. That's why I believe this vote is important. That's why I'm a yes. And again, yes, if we need to tweak it in the future, I'll be all willing to try to help because small businesses are the backbone. As I understand the numbers, 40,000 out of 400,000 are even going to be impacted, and we've put deductions in for those that are on the rise. I believe this is a good bill, maybe not great, but it's great policy because we're putting kids first, finally.